who in the West, like, who's an underrated trash talker?
Underrated trash talker. Ooh.
I'm Ryan. I'm open.
I'm Andrew, and I'm open.
I am Joe, and I'm also open.
I'm Marty, and you know I'm open.
Oh,
man.
Marty's open.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, why don't you I guess we could just start by you could just give a little like elevator pitch about your frisbee career, what got you into Ultimate and where you at right now, and yeah, just let us know and let whoever's listening know what should we know about you.
Dope. So I actually got into Ultimate. So I'm born and raised in Hawaii. And so
No shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I just moved out here like a couple of years ago just to play frisbee. I was like started playing with the church and like some friends. I was one of 11 kids in this big homeschooled like Christian household. And so we would like play with like different churches and stuff growing up. And then that led to me going and playing in a city league. At the time, I think I was like 15 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, just basically from there fell in love with the game and started playing against like a bunch of like just homies out there in Hawaii and trying to get in like tournaments. And I was like, you know what, this is I really love this sport and I want to just see how far I can take it, and decided to fly and try out for the Cascades and got humbled real fast.
Wow.
I was like, oh, I'm a good cutter out here in Hawaii and stuff. But then went to Seattle and I was like, it's cold. My hands are moving slow. This is not good Hawaii weather. And then, yeah, basically that pushed me to really want to, just grow in the sport and see how better I could get and like come back and train. So went back, just practiced a bunch and tried out. Long story short, tried out last year for the Portland Nitro, then made the team and trying out in the tryout process for them again right now. So super hyped.
Nice.
Wow, that's really cool. It's like it's so unfortunate. We usually have one more co-host who has a lot of family in Hawaii.
Dang. So
it's kind of unfortunate that he's the one who's missing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That's crazy. What is the what's the Ultimate scene like in Hawaii? Like that's just something that's so not on my radar most of the time.
Dude, it's super chill. I got a tournament coming up actually that I'm going out there for, Kaimana Classic. Literally, like if you could go to any tournament, you need to go to this one. Yeah. Like playing frisbee in Hawaii, dude, it's amazing. I love it.
That sounds like the best thing ever.
Is it a competitive tournament or is it more like layout, like a drinking tournament?
It's like mixed, kind of like it's competitive, but it's also like really fun and stuff. So like a bunch of different teams going out there. I know there's like going to be a Rhino like / Schwa team going out.
Gotcha.
Usually it's open and women's, but this year they wanted to make it mix. So like a bunch of teams are like mixing up for it.
That's cool. Did you go to layout this year?
Huh?
Did you go to layout this year?
Nah, I missed layout, dude. I was, I think that weekend I was coaching over here for PSU and something, but next year I'm planning on going to layout. I gotta.
For sure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Is there a club scene in Hawaii also?
Yeah, so they just started up their first club team in like a minute out there, Party Wave. Shout out to Party Wave. And dude, that I'm super, super stoked to seeing like just what they're growing there and stuff, and like excited to see just like competitive Ultimate just be in Hawaii. Hopefully in the future there's a bunch of teams out there, but
fuck yeah. That's sick.
That's sick. Yeah, I can imagine it would be like a logistical could be kind of tough to like regularly make tournaments or like play in a series, but at the same time, like I don't know if you get everyone to buy in and everyone flies in for like what section would you be in? Like I don't even know, but
no. So they have like their I think straight pass to regionals
oh
because
word. Okay.
yeah. So that's what happened this year is they have a straight pass to regionals and like they have
Okay.
some years that have like the Hawaii sectionals type of thing they put together. I think, but yeah,
That makes sense. I mean, I feel like yeah, you just and then you go to regionals and nationals. There's like 2 tournaments you gotta worry about, and you know if you go and ball out of regionals, then you're set basically. So that's cool. I had no idea that was a thing, but that's really cool to hear about. I'll definitely
they
try to
got to
tune
start
in.
recruiting some dudes, being like, "Hey, you want to live in Hawaii, dog?"
That's like not a tough sell, you know what I mean? Like right on. Um, well, speaking of like things that weren't super on our radar, I wouldn't even think we would get to like Hawaii Club Ultimate, but to kind of circle back to the Nitro season, you know, we kind of got into the AUDL last year, but the Nitro was one of those teams that we just didn't know a lot of people on the team, so we just didn't hear a lot about what was going on. Like, can you just like walk us through like what was the season like? Like what was the vibe on the team? Like just tell us everything. Like we don't know that much.
Oh, get
Like
juicy with it.
Yeah,
yeah,
if you want to
good.
talk shit
Yeah,
about
I know you're
Nitro
still
players,
I know you're
other
still trying
teams.
out, and we want you to make the team for sure. But
Yeah,
get
yeah,
as juicy
yeah.
as you can.
You gotta hold the interview until like afterwards. Don't
Yeah,
release.
Yeah,
Yeah. We can also edit. We can edit anything you want out. If you just let us know, we'll edit everything out.
No, it shoot, yeah. Last season was an emotional roller coaster. Definitely, I think like well, at least for me, like started at the beginning, yeah, I had the whole tryout thing and like I flew out here with my partner and basically the deal was so before Nitro tryouts, we were back in Hawaii and stuff, and it was like if I make Nitro, we're just let's move back to Oregon for a bit. And we're like, all right, bet. And basically went through the whole tryout, made it, moved out here, and then I think it was our second or third practice. I'm poaching off of my boy Leo Pepper, and he just someone rips him this deep hug, and I go make this sick bid on it, but get boxed down and like try to reach around, tear my lateral meniscus.
No.
Yeah, dude. And so I hindsight's 2020. I should have just like taken a bunch of time off, but I didn't. And so like basically rushed back and played 1 point in our preseason game against the Oakland Spiders, and then messed it up even more. So that was just like it was from the start with that, and then took some more time off, was able to come back. I think I didn't play until the Oakland Spiders, our away game out there in Oakland. And that one, was finally able to cut hard and like play good. Keenan Lawrence went deep. I did it. He did kind of complain to the ref. Got a call. I got a photo of it. It's fine. It's not a bad, but nah. So I think like, so like finally being able to come back at that time, that was, and like just dealing with that lingering injury through the year was rough. But other than that, I think more of like the overall thing this season, like it was a lot of our top guys are like from Rhino and stuff. And so it's like tough trying to get like them to be able to commit to the season or like being able for them to be able to like balance the two. I think because like Rhino has like practices sometimes on weekends and like tournaments, of course. And so I think the beginning of the season before like Rhino was in full swing, we had like Rafi, Sealand, Daniel Lee, and like Jack Hatchett and like all of those guys, along with like the other dudes that we got on the team that were balling out, like Leandro Marks, obviously. I mean, listen, someone led in yards. My boy, it's got to get the glasses. We got to get y'all some glasses for the pod.
Oh,
okay.
hell yeah. Yeah, one thing I'm wondering, like,
be worn.
are those glasses like glued to his head or something? Like,
Bro, he's just built like that.
Yeah, it's just built different. Yeah.
Bro.
It's a look. It's hard. It goes really hard.
Game and see if it, gives me some extra speed or something.
I clearly it worked for him, so there might be something going on there. Yeah, you might have to get on the glasses game. Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting. I noticed like at the start of the season, especially, I was scared of y'all as a team. I was like, I mean, I don't play AUDL, but I was like, oh damn, like Nitro are like gotta watch out, like because I watched
that double overtime
the double OT against the Summit. Yeah, I was like the Nitro's for real.
And then what? Towards the end of the season, I think the Summit beat you guys by like what?
They like destroyed us.
Yeah. So was the difference just the Rhino players, the commitment, and those guys?
No, I think just the whole. It was like the players, but also the energy of the team already. I think like beginning, I think we were doing a lot of stuff together and stuff, and like just that like team bond was there. And like had the players and stuff, and we're like constantly like everyone was like having practice and stuff, but then once the swing of the season got in, there wasn't like a lot of stuff going on, and it was more started to feel more like, all right, time to show up for work, clock in, play a game, then fly back. Yeah. And I think once after that like big loss in Seattle, things started kind of getting rocky. Then we had those 2 close games with LA. And then like it was the loss to LA by 1 twice in a row.
Yeah.
And lost to Growlers.
Yeah.
And so it was like those losses weren't as bad as the others. Like seeing how like after those like really close one, it just felt like the team kind of like we fell apart and had some people that were like completely bought in and felt like some were just like, all right, I'm ready for like club season already.
And do you think any part of that is being a new team and being the first season in the AUDL? And like, do you think that that's maybe something that can change, being like returning a bunch of players who are now playing for this team again?
Yeah, I think so. This season's going to look really different, honestly. So just like seeing with the tryouts and like stuff that's going on with Rhino, it looks like there's not going to be a lot of Rhino rollover to the team, just because of now on like the contract is like you have to be able to go to like a minimum of like 9 games and like show up for practice and stuff. Basically, like Rhino is doing the similar thing with their team because like they're really close to like being that top teams and they're looking for what can get there. So I think just both teams need more commitment. And we've got a lot of talent just like out here in Oregon that's not necessarily like on Rhino. That just Oregon's mix scene is interesting. Like there's a lot of talent in the mix scene, but everyone's like we've got like tons of teams. So everyone just like splits among the teams. But like if you took like a bunch of the top players, they'd be able to like compete at nationals and like play it. But so we've got some great players like trying out that I'm hyped to hopefully play alongside. So
that's a topic I find like really interesting, between mixed and AUD or between club and AUDL crossover. And like I feel like especially in the last season, it seems like teams that share the most have seen the most success, like with Breeze and Truck Stop, or Pony and Empire. And then like you can look at Seattle and how tons of their players don't cross over almost at all. And like I mean Cascades were not very good, but I mean Sockeye was good, but they just didn't look as good as some of the other teams. I don't know. Do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's like I definitely have thoughts on like this whole thing of like the AUDL kind of like versus club that has been going on. And I think so like we need, first off, if we want the sport to grow, like we've got to work together and put like the best like have the best like just playing and stuff. And I think honestly out here kind of like the club drama and stuff that happens with like not wanting to play AUDL and like AUDL players being like, yeah, this is. I think like all of the top, AUDL players play club and all. Kind of getting off topic, but like, and all of the club players. So like Sockeye, if a bunch of Sockeye players played Seattle Cascades, like if they played with Cascades, Cascades would be top team, 100%. Right. But like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them sitting out trying not to start drama with it. But I don't know how I feel about them, like, because like they want to push the sport to grow, right? But we're not. If we're just like playing club where players want, like, even though it's not a lot of money, but like can't make money and stuff, that's not gonna allow it to like grow for the next generation of players to hopefully come like
Yeah, you're right. I mean, so I'm out here in Colorado, and one of the coolest things about going to Summit games is there's so many high school kids that come to these games and love the Summit. And I think you can get that in an AUDL game where, kids are coming and seeing professional sports. They're not going to fly out and go watch a club tournament, but on a week in, week out basis for an AUDL game, they can go watch high level Frisbee and get excited about it and become fans. And you're talking about growing the sport. I mean, anyone that says the ADL isn't good for growing the sport of Frisbee is crazy, because it's pretty awesome what it's doing.
And honestly, like on that note, playing like in Colorado, I think like was the craziest like away game experience for me.
Yeah, like the fans and everything.
Yeah, the fans and stuff, and like just it had. I think it was like the closest thing to like actually feeling like, all right, this is a professional sport. This is an actual game of like how their fans were super hyped for them and stuff, and like they had a band at one point that was playing during the game, and that it was just like this whole different atmosphere that, and I think Colorado, whatever they're doing there, like management and stuff, they're doing pretty good. Like they're gonna continue to grow and stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome, and I appreciate that because I'm one of those fans. I was at that game when you guys came out here. But one of the questions we were going to ask you is, like, you talk about like closest thing to like professional everything. You guys play in a soccer stadium, like,
dude,
like talk about that. That's insane. Like, so we have a couple friends.
Turf I've ever run on.
What'd you say?
I said the best turf I've ever ran on.
Okay,
it's so
one of our college buddies, Ever Shapiro, plays Aviators, and he was telling us like when he went and played like you guys in the stadium, it's insane. So talk about playing in the stadium every home game.
Dude, that one of my dreams has always been like the running out of the tunnel type of thing, and like hearing the crowd and being able to do that for like our home games of like run out the tunnel, you like see the crowd, and like even though it's obvious like for AUDL is like not feeling the part yet, not yet, someday.
One day.
Yeah, one day. But no, it was like running out, just hearing everyone, and then seeing like the jumbotron, like the big screen and stuff, and like just that whole, I don't know, it was a dream, dude. Definitely, I love, super stoked to like that we have our games at Providence Park, and I think that move, like Nitro making that move in their ownership, is like gonna help the sport grow in its own way. Of like, I think it's one thing of like playing in like high schools and stuff like that, or like college fields. I think like being able to play in like an actual like stadium and stuff would bring in like more fans of being like, oh cool, now it's not like just people that like don't know Frisbee are gonna be like, oh, it's not just a bunch of dudes just like tossing a disc. It's like, oh, this is like an actual thing,
legitimate sport. The word legitimate that gets thrown around because Frisbee's not an actual sport.
Yeah, it's not an actual sport apparently.
Yeah,
not going to be in the 2028 Olympics too.
But like, skateboarding is.
Yeah,
Skateboarding's cool, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want to
I don't
hate.
want to shit on
Breakdancing is
skateboarding.
Whoa, whoa,
what
Andrew,
breakdancing is what gets me.
this is a frisbee podcast. We got to put ourselves
I know.
We're not an anti-skateboarding podcast.
We can. There's room for both in the Olympics. All right. But
Apparently not.
Yeah, I guess
apparently
not.
only one.
I guess not. Yeah, I think y'all both make like really interesting points because like this past year and having this podcast and stuff and talking about frisbee, I've watched more frisbee than, you know, any years past in my life. And something I have noticed is like, okay, if it's so much easier to be like, this is my team and I'm going to follow them and I'm going to, you know, be invested in this team when it's an AUDL team that plays every week, versus like, you know, I know some guys on truck stop and I like I'm kind of from the DC area. So, you know, I want to watch their games, but it's like, if I want to be a truck stop fan, I watch them play like 3 weekends a year. And that's like, that's nothing, you know, like there's just, you know, they play a lot of games in those tournaments, but it's not the same like fan experience, I guess, that you get from kind of the AUDL and having it more spread out. And like when I think about like why is that, you know, why is it that way? And I mean, it's just because all the players have to have a 9 to 5. You can't only play frisbee. You know, like you can't have a bunch of weeknight games and then weekend games, and you know, because everyone's got a family and jobs and stuff. And I think that's part of, you know, we've heard about like teams like the Cascades or like the Glory or something that don't really send their like top players to away games because it's like, I have a family and I have a job, and like you know, that's part of the agreement before they go in, and you know, that's understandable. So it'll be tough to I would love to get to a point where like it is like we get like kind of more 1 game or 2 games a week or something like that, but it won't really happen until there's enough money to like pay the players to be able to do that, you know. So it's kind of it's a sticky situation, and it feels like they're both kind of like the club scene is kind of at odds with the pro scene a little bit. So it's a little unfortunate to like see that happen.
One of us got to move to the winter. That's what it is. One of us has got to move to the winter.
yeah. Someone's got to budge, but you know, it's tough. I mean, they overlap just a little bit too much, you know, like right when the AUDL season is like heating up and it like is towards the end, that's kind of when clubs like getting going. So it's a tough like overlap to happen. So I hope they figure it out. I'm not gonna.
I do think that will happen. Probably not in my career of playing, but like once this AUDL grows even more and like guys get to where it can pay its players, like we're gonna see to where now AUDL players aren't playing club. I feel like club will kind of become like the G League or something, where it's like, all right, you got to go here, like you're playing a club to get to the AUDL, because once people are making actual money from the AUDL, they're not going to want to go and like risk getting hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We started this as an AUDL podcast. I don't know if you like how long you've been following us like on Twitter and like Instagram, but like our logo used to be Ringer the AUDL. And then over the off season, we were like, wait, we want to get into WEL. We want to get into all things frisbee. We had Kayak and Aubrey from like Twitter on, and we were like, we're gonna change our name to Ringer the Ulti. And I guess what I'm getting at is, I would actually love to have someone on the podcast who doesn't play AUDL and kind of has an opinion that's not like anti-AUDL, but just like, you know, for example, Dylan Freechild. Like, I would love to hear why he doesn't play AUDL.
Yeah, dude. No, I think I don't know. I've heard
Freechild, come on the pod.
I've heard a lot I've heard a lot of like people bringing up like they want frisbee to stay kind of what it is. I think it's like to where like, and I would say like it's frisbee is like a sport that's pretty easy to get into and stuff. Like you can like there's levels of play of it at for like all different levels, and then it's really, I feel like it's easier to get obviously to the AUDL than it is to get to like the NBA or NFL. And so having it where it is now, it's like we can go and we can play in these like crazy tournaments, like party tournaments, go get like drawn for a weekend and play competitively, then come home and it's like chill. But then once the sport grows and it's like, oh, now these top players can't go to these fun things because of this is like the sport now becomes just work. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see, I like that's definitely an argument that I've heard. It's like I like where it's at. I like that it's kind of this fringe like thing, and I like it that way. I like the community, and like I get that aspect of it. But on the other hand, I'm like, Frisbee was around in like the 80s or something, and it's like almost unrecognizable to me, just seeing the way that like even the style of like uniforms have changed, and just I'm sure things have changed a ton since the sport started. So I think it's always changing,
Yeah.
whether you like it to or not. And I think it will grow whether you want it to or not. I think it's definitely on that kind of trajectory right now. But yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, I just think like from where Frisbee started, it's already like got its own thing going on. Like I'm not too worried about like if the AUDL blows up and gets like a ton of fans and like, you're selling out the stadium or whatever, I'm not super worried about the sport like changing and like too much. I don't know. That's just me. Like I think it's just only good to just get more people playing this cool sport that like we all like. I just don't see I fail to see how that's like a bad thing. That's just me. I don't know.
100%
And I agree with that. Like
Yeah.
I'm like kind of speaking from like I guess like trying to see where they're coming from.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
definitely want to see the sport flow up, mostly because of like like my dream, part of the reason why like I'm trying to go like be the best player I can be and like help the sport grow is for the next generation of players and like the people like kids that aren't like they don't have like the access to being able to just like, all right, I'm gonna pay all this money to go to this tournament and like play for this club team and like learn under this, or like kids that don't go to a school that has like frisbee in their like a frisbee team for their high school or like middle school and stuff. And like, yeah, I want the sport to be able to grow so now like these kids have access and they're able to be like, all right, I want to play this sport, and if I get really good, I can go pro and make a living from doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like I think once the sport gets there, we're gonna also see just a whole new wave of talent.
Yeah.
100%.
Certainly.
And I think it's gonna. I feel like we're right now where like the NBA was when they were like people like $100 and like a dinner for the night, like just you come play, all right, and you're in this like shitty hotel.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah, no,
of,
I mean, you hear about like Wilt Chamberlain playing against actual like plumbers and people with other jobs. Like, yeah, that's what this is.
That's where we're at right now.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like any D1 athlete in almost any sport could play frisbee at a professional level. I mean, you got to learn the rules and like the strategy and like a little bit of the skill, but athletic wise, like, if you play D1 football, like you can probably make the AUDL.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'd probably make the AUDL. You'd be like a top 5 player in the AUDL like instantly. I think.
Yeah.
I would argue any D1 basketball player would be the best player in the AUDL if you give him a year of training.
I would tend to agree with that, honestly. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a year, like, yeah, I mean,
what NBA player would be the best?
Oh, you gotta go watch our draft, but we
did y'all do this on?
So this was like way before we popped off, when we were kind of a low
popped off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing y'all stuff all the way out here in Oregon. So
we did a fun little non-frisbee professional player draft. So there's 4 teams, and I think so Sam and I were on the same team, and I think our first overall pick was Giannis.
Oh damn, yeah.
Like, how do you guard Giannis in the end zone? Like, that's impossible.
Bro, insane, unstoppable O-line cutter right there.
Unstoppable. Like, who put someone on him? Like, you're just gonna throw it up. Like, his high point is just higher than yours. Like,
yeah,
nothing you're gonna do.
I think LeBron would just be like
Oh,
He would be kind of like a
nasty.
hybrid, but maybe he would lean more like handler, like disc distributor. But he would just like you couldn't guard him. He'd always get the disc, and he could just kind of do whatever he wanted on the field.
Yeah.
Like
we took players and we like kind of translated their skill. So like for example, we drafted Messi because like his skill on a like field would translate to his like handling ability and throwing.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
one of our
me,
picks
like
was
give and go handler.
oh yeah. And
Mhm.
like I drafted Patrick Mahomes because Mahomes would be like if you, honestly I think if Mahomes if you like gave him a frisbee, he would just figure it out. Like
Yeah.
I don't
they
even
all
think
would. Let's be real. They all would. I would think in 20 minutes
Yeah.
they'd
Yeah.
have it down. They'd be serviceable, like throwing a flick at least.
Bro, I hate Mahomes. I'm cheering against Mahomes this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm a Titans fan, and Mahomes
Oh,
I heard way too many times.
we can talk football. I mean, this is a frisbee podcast, but it's really just a fucking. We're just a bunch of people.
when we were
like,
we were talking about like because it's like off season, we're like, what do we even talk about? Ryan was just like, can we just talk about the Super Bowl? And I'm like, honestly, like maybe.
everyone that would grow our audience way better if we
Bro.
just did a dedicated podcast about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So-
true. I'm just in a weird spot because I'm from the DC area, so I like rooting for the Eagles is kind of like just not in my it just doesn't compute, like it just doesn't work. But I don't fucking know. Like I don't really give a shit about the Chiefs. Like so I don't really know. I just don't really know where I stand. Like I hope they both lose. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Like that Ravens Niners game.
Yeah, I hope the power goes out and that game was actually sick though, because I was rooting for the Ravens. So
I grew up in the DC area, but I was a longtime Ravens fan, so that was fantastic. But it means I have no issues rooting for the Eagles.
that's a good like middle
Yeah.
ground because like I like the players. I don't know. I have a lot of friends that are Eagles fans. The Eagles are actually good, like Washington sports. The Washington football team is a dog shit franchise. So
Bro,
like,
they should have kept that name. Commander.
I agree.
Commanders sucks, bro.
Commanders is ass.
It's a terrible name.
I agree so much. Like, I'm glad other people are saying that because I'm like, I just wish they just stayed football team. Just fuck
That's
it.
the
Phone
thing,
it
it's
in. That's the name.
We all clowned on them first, and then we were like, all right, we're grown to love this. Like,
It's kind of hype.
how funny it is. And then they're like, nah, we
Yeah.
got Commander. And it was like, bro.
So much worse. It's so much worse. And it's like in a way, like at first it's like this is just like a product of the organization's like ineptitude. Of course they couldn't come up with a name in time.
Yeah.
Of course this is what we're stuck with. Like this is what we deserve, And it was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But then it was kind of like, it's kind of like classy. Like those like soccer teams, that it's just like the name of the city and like football club, you know what I mean? Like there's something about that that's kind of sick. So it grew on me a ton. And I didn't like get in on the merch game, but sometimes when I like visit home and I'm like in Target or like Walmart or something, like they still have like football team jerseys.
Oh,
so
dang.
they're still like there, like
That's
the ones
cool.
they
I
didn't
gotta
sell.
cop one of those.
Yeah, honestly, if
pretty
I
cool.
see one, I'll snag two and I'll let you know. Like they're hype. They're honestly, I wish they never changed it because the new name's terrible. Anyway.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we're a fully functioned oiled machine that always goes smoothly.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're
sometimes you gotta wait.
We're hemorrhaging money right now.
Buy our merch. Buy our merch.
please.
Oh,
We always
buy-
forget. We're so
buy our
bad at
merch.
Wait,
so bad at
bro,
plugging
y'all
ourselves.
got merch?
We got
Hell
merch.
yeah.
I will say our best item is the Lepler line. If you're aware of the Lepler line.
I'm looking this up on my phone right now.
All right. It's so if you go to our Twitter or Instagram, okay, look at your screen. Look at your screen.
Oh no.
So that's the Evan Lepler tie-dye t-shirt
Oh.
with his face on it.
Oh
Oh, in
damn.
the back.
All right,
This
wait.
isn't even up to
I
date
gotta-
anymore.
Yeah, no, we gotta
We
update
gotta
our merch
update-
shop.
Yeah,
Gotta get the
I'm
new
not in
logo.
I'm not in this picture.
Oh yeah, you're not.
We've got these nice. If you're a frisbee player, you need a hat. So if
You
you want
gotta-
nice
ooh.
hats with our logos on it, very stylish. Or
We
if you want a more casual, look at Joe. Joe's got a nice casual.
Yeah, just
hat.
got a like kind of the dad hat thing going. Yeah.
Joe's got the
We'll
hat.
we'll
I
we'll,
might
we'll
have
hook you
to-
up. We
might have to get some for a walk-in. Get the walk-in shots.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll hook you up. We hook our friends of the pod up. So don't even stress about that. But we always forget to plug it. So maybe we could throw that at the beginning or some shit. I don't know. We're bad. We're bad at the
I'll try to talk some of the Rhino boys. Try to get.
Oh yeah.
hell
Wait,
yeah.
before we get into this tier list, I had a quick side note on Leandro Marks. First off, I don't know if you're aware, but we did a awards at the end of the season, and we did not give any.
All I'm saying, he should have been higher.
So we didn't give him Rookie of the Year. He was runner up.
Yeah.
I assume you disagree with that.
He was not
Our
runner up.
records were broken.
He was not runner up.
He wasn't.
Everest was runner up.
Not. He was like, I think he was second or third runner up.
Yeah, no, I think he was third.
I'll disrespect him.
That's kind of fucked. That's kind of fucked up.
I think he was tied for third with everybody else.
How do you come in this season, your rookie year, and you do all this shit, and then it's just like, nah, but he did.
Well, to be fair, if we didn't give it to Everest, I mean, that
we didn't give it to Everest. We gave it to Quinn Finer. Everest came.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that we didn't give it to Everest means that I think that we should give ourselves some credit because I mean, obviously, we probably would have given it to him anyway.
I voted for him.
Quinn Finer, he's a fucking baller.
Yeah,
but he's not the best player on the team.
But is he the best rookie?
Leandro. Nitro.
How many wins? How many wins did the Nitro have?
Okay, but ouch! That wound is not healed yet.
Too soon, Joe. Too soon.
I apologize.
It's now comeback season.
Oh, that's funny.
If it doesn't happen this season, then hey.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, if it makes everyone feel better, he did win the actual Rookie of the Year. Yeah. So if it's some consolation,
yeah, I wasn't gonna point that out.
What is this? What is this actual thing you're talking about? Isn't our awards the most important?
Oh yeah, my bad. I just betrayed the company.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
My
demerit.
Speaking of awards, I don't know if y'all saw, but third best trash talker in the West.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna say who besides yourself, who in the West, like who's an underrated trash talker?
Underrated trash talker. Ooh.
Like, who are you excited to like? Oh, I'm gonna chirp this person up because I know they're gonna give it back to me.
Probably. I didn't get to match up with him at all, but like, I just know like just his vibe and stuff. He's super chill and like a good trash talker. But my boy Cody Spicer.
Oh, really?
No, I just can't believe that.
Like, no, hearing him like he's super chill, but like he'll have like one-liners and stuff, like just him, and then like my other homie Stan Larson, who
like the Tim Duncan trash talk, where like say a one line and then actually
talking a bunch. But yeah, no, but like just times where I played, I'm like, those two can talk trash.
Wow. That didn't I wasn't expecting you to say Cody Spicer because I remember like one of the first games I saw him play, it was the game that we mentioned earlier that went into double overtime. And this guy's out here like wearing the rain pants. And I'm like, who's rain pants? Like, who is this guy? And like
he's goated, bro. Yeah. Listen, Cody Spicer is
yeah, I was like, this guy in the rain pants is playing like exceptional defense. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. I think he won that game against us. He ended up like guarding Raffy in the dump space in that double overtime point where Austin Kelly had it and like was trying to get it off the corner to Raffy and just Cody Spicer locked it up. That was a heartbreaking moment.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Dude,
yeah, well, Joe, did you have something, or do we want to tier list it? I feel like I had something. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
I had one more thing on Leandro. So like Leandro kind of like led your guys in every category, and we were talking about like record breaking and everything. Like, was there a game plan around that, or did it happen naturally the first week or two, and you're like, this is how we're gonna score, this is how we're gonna play offense, let's lead into it? Did you guys talk about it halfway through the season? Like, just kind of give me the story behind, his record-breaking season.
Dude, it kind of just led to that. Like, we went in with the plan of kind of like spreading the ball a lot, and Leandro kind of just first couple of games was the dude that I guess like the transition between AUDL and club is fucking huge. Like, it's really different. And so I guess it just like really clicked with him, and his play style just matches perfect for the sport. And he balled out. And then throughout the season, it was just started getting to, all right, we need to score. Leandro's down there. And I didn't get that many old points. Unfortunately, I think I played like only 1 or 2 points with Leandro. And I was like, dude, it's fun to be on the field when he's on the field when you're on his team. So
gotcha.
I was gonna ask if you're trying to play more O-line this year.
I 100% am. Like, so hey, coach, put me on O-line.
Coach, put him on the team.
Yeah. Not to get ahead of it, but hopefully I'll be there. I feel good about it.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, definitely best of luck on that. We're super rooting for you, especially now that you're a friend of the pod. Well, I don't know if you want us to like unleash our Everett Shapiro Rookie of the Year level on Twitter, but we can do whatever you want. Like, we'll go there if you need.
I just need a runner up for something, get my name out there. Gotcha.
We'll blast your name out.
Friends of the pod gear.
Hell yeah, we need you out there.
Absolutely.
We need you out there. So we'll campaign for you to we'll do what we can.
Y'all got a player of the pod yet? I mean,
we'll throw you a bone. We'll give you something. We'll give you something. We'll think on it. We'll think on it.
You'll be shortlisted for at least a few awards.
Hell yeah. There it is. Yeah. I can't. It'd be weird if I'm just like at the top and it's just like it's because of that. You gotta have like
gotta ease in. And then the season after this one, that's when we go.
This dude,
Well, we'll start the hashtag O-line Marty, and
O-line Marty. Yeah, there.
We'll get to it.
I mean, hey, I was O-line for Nebula, Portland Nebula, mixed club team out here, and stats were pretty nice. So
all right.
There you go. Check the stats.
There it is.
Nitro, check the
stats. Don't lie.
Only threw 1 turn last season.
Only one
That's
turn.
The one that matters.
Nitro. O-line Marty. Come on.
O-line Marty.
We'll make it happen. We'll blow that up. We'll do what we can. If that's everything we got, I think we can go into. Or Joe, did you have something?
Here.
Let's go into this.
I got one last thing, and then we'll go into the tier list.
Let's do more things.
Yeah, we've just been shooting the shit. We've
Yeah.
been talking a lot about you. You got any questions for us? Not non-frisbee related, life related,
Frisbee.
deep emotionally related.
I got one. Andrew.
What's up? Oh, what's up?
Dude, I was like going through the Instagram, saw you do music. I come from like music background, bro. Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, word.
Yes.
Plug your band.
Yeah.
I try to avoid the shame. So I will say I also stalked your Instagram and I saw that you had some music stuff going on too. So I'll throw that back to you. But yeah, so I live in New Orleans right now. 3 out of 4 of us on the pod went to Tulane, but I'm the one who's stuck around in New Orleans. And I'm in a band with my little sister. I play guitar, and we kind of started up like during COVID, and would just kind of jam a little bit. I didn't think it was anything like that would really take off or like be that serious, but we just kind of kept playing with each other, and I don't think it would have worked if we weren't like friends with each other, but like we just got really tight and just kept playing music. And now we have like the most gigs coming up this month than like we've ever had in this span of time. So I'm like super stoked on it. Like it'll be a lot, but it'll be really cool. We kind of play like indie rock, kind of. I don't really know what you'd call it, but we're in Abby and the Artists. My little sister's the like front person, and she's so dope. She's so sick. Like Abby's so talented. But anyway.
So nice.
Well, I gotta check out. Yeah, I saw like right before this. I was like, I gotta go look at the Instas, and I was like, oh shit, Andrew does music.
Yeah, you probably saw a lot of like reels of me like playing over like memes or something. I like to do that sometimes too.
Yeah,
But
dude,
anyway.
hell
Yeah, well, what about you play like do you play guitar, you play ukulele, you sing? I
yeah.
saw you
I
singing a
did.
lot.
Yeah, I sing a bit. I play a
Nice.
little ukulele, and then yeah, just mostly sing, and then try to like been trying to get into like writing for artists and stuff. That's like most of what I've done.
That's sick. Do you
Yeah.
do it mostly in like Portland or like play any gigs or
So
like
now I'm out here. Well, trying to get into the performing. Right now, I'm just at like I used to play like so I come where I was saying is like born and raised in Hawaii. Whole family does music and stuff. Like really music background. Like so
yeah.
my mom and dad like were in LA and just like Hollywood for a while and like doing a bunch of music. Then they decided to move to Hawaii, just like start a family, and then started their family band and stuff. So I got into music through like playing with my family and stuff, and then kind of all of us started doing our own thing. A couple of my brothers have been like touring and stuff. They're actually playing at Bottle Rock. One of my brothers is playing at Bottle Rock pretty soon, so that's going to be pretty dope.
Fuck yeah.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and so music has been basically in my life just since birth, and so yeah, just sing a bit tonight. I'm actually gonna after this go over and like sing this like fun karaoke competition. I was like go
I
Fuck
love
yeah.
that.
get some
I love it.
Awesome.
sing it
We're,
in tonight.
we're very pro karaoke on this pod. We
Yeah,
love
we are.
it.
What's your like I don't know if it'll hurt your competition or something if you like tell us any
Ooh.
leak any information, but like what's your go-to songs? Like what are you gonna
Go
be
to
singing?
karaoke.
Yeah.
My Way. Right now, it's My Way from Frank Sinatra, or like
Okay.
Cooler Weather by Zach Brown Band, or
Ooh.
like Throw It Back to like Just Once for like
Man.
James Ingram. It's kind of like a wide, like a bunch of different types of music. I'm like chaotic.
I was gonna say that
If you're
you'll
singing My Way on karaoke, you must be a way better singer than I could ever be. I would never attempt that. I would never do it myself.
Dude,
you either gotta be really good or like really fucking hammered. Because I've heard
A little bit of both.
Ryan, I don't know what your go-to karaoke song is, but I'm pretty sure Elu and mine is the same thing.
Yeah. I do karaoke
Yeah.
like every Friday at this bar down here, basically.
Oh yeah.
And
let me guess. It's something hard.
You should be able to guess it.
I know.
Yeah. You're
but
right.
I can't think of the name.
you know what it is. So basically, my partner is a very good singer. I think I'm like an average to below average singer, but like I can like carry a tune, but I'm not like very good. So I do we do Total Eclipse of the Heart, and I just do turn around, and then she does like everything else.
Oh
And
god.
I let her cook, and then I go turn around.
When
Oh
Emily's
yeah,
cooking,
dude.
oh,
Yeah.
Emily's the best singer I've like ever
Emily's
heard.
pretty good, but she also had she does not. She's very very talented, and she's like classically trained too. She used to do opera and stuff like when she was in high school, but she doesn't like to draw attention to herself. She doesn't like it. But like if we go to karaoke, she gets a couple drinks in, then boom, she's like
Turn around.
yeah. Anyway, but I know it's Joe's karaoke song too. So I'm at karaoke and I always like FaceTime. I FaceTime our like group chat and I'm just like, turn around. Like
Every now and then I get it.
Yeah. Sometimes they pick up. Sometimes they don't pick up.
For a game, we got to do karaoke right after.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, it's happening. Oh shit!
We'll come to Colorado. We'll come to Colorado for that. That's where Ryan lives.
Everyone come to Colorado. I don't want to go to
Colorado away game, dude. That
so
night was wild.
So I wasn't really in the social scene with the summit until like the end of the year. So I wish I went out with you guys, but then towards the end of the year I started going because there's like bars post game that everyone would go to and stuff.
Yeah.
There was one bar, so I went to the Aviators post game bar, and there was a karaoke bar there, and I've said this on the pod before, but we asked John Nethercutt what his go-to karaoke song was, and he said something by Nickelback. So then I signed up and did Rockstar by Nickelback on karaoke.
Dude,
Nice.
hell yeah.
So
That's wild.
if Nitro, if the bar that is post Nitro is, if it's the same bar that has karaoke, we are 100% doing a song together.
This sounds,
Dude, yeah.
this
No,
sounds,
actually, yeah, it does have karaoke.
Then
And
it's probably
like the pool tables in the back.
yes.
Yeah.
So unless they switch bars, because I've heard talks about them switching locations of stadiums of where the games can be played.
Okay.
So if they don't switch bars, lock us in. We're down. We'll talk offline what our song's gonna be. I'll send my qualities. I've got a couple. I'm not the best high note singer, but I can articulate like words well and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can drink and sing my heart out. So
Hell yeah. Hey.
That's
I
half
just
the
do
battle
not-
with karaoke.
I don't want to go after Marty. I want to get mine out of the way early.
yeah, if he's
Yeah,
singing My Way
immediately.
by Frank Sinatra.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think like I'm a good singer. I feel like I'm just a good karaoke singer.
Okay.
Is the thing. So like
It's an important
Like,
distinction.
I feel like that's what somebody says when they're good at singing and want to be humble about it.
Nah. Nah.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's kind of
but
true.
definitely we gotta do it, dog.
We should just like
We'll
schedule
fly out.
another pod where we just do karaoke on Zoom. I don't know if that works well for a podcast, but
We'll figure it out. Hey, no one's done it before.
that's
Hey,
That does sound like fun. That does sound like fun. We'll get on it. We'll get our tech team to figure something out.
Yeah, we'll get Sam back here.
We'll get our intern.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the last?
We
Is
should.
it tier list time?
Here, let's
Sure.
Let's go through it quick.